All righty. Okay, let me get this out of the way right quick then. What I'm going to say is not necessarily that shocking, but I'm going to say with the whole issue with Canon Hinnant, the 5-year-old who was shot in the head by his black neighbor, I would say it is a shocking, well, not even shocking. It is a horrible story. It's even more horrible when you look at the father. It's more horrible with the father because the guy who shot Canon Hinnant, I'm trying to be polite here. Trying to think of the gentleman's name who Darius Sessoms was next door neighbor to the Hinnant family. And he was sitting on the porch drinking a beer with the father. And then when the kid was riding down the street on his bicycle, shot him. This is one of these moments where I could just go super racial and go super Fed posty, but I would say this. I blame the father far more than I blame the killer. And yeah, the killer will get his justice. At least we hope so. God willing. But I blame the father far, far, far more. And I have more shame for that father than for the killer. This is a story that's going to get buried, as they always do. This is something that, in general, is not talked about. We will go on and on about George Floyd. We will go on and on about, I don't know, go on and on about, I don't know, Laquan McDonald or whoever. But when it comes to, I'm sorry, I'm going to go Wignat here, but I'll bring it back. But when it comes to the other side, I'll put it that way, the other side, nothing much is mentioned. Same thing with this, with Marquise Love, DJ and a part-time security guard. A light-skinned brother comes up, this white guy who was helping out this transgender woman. I'm trying to be gentle here with this. Ends up getting involved and is trying to be a good Samaritan, trying to break it up. What happens? White guy gets involved and they chase this dude. I mean, video speaks for itself. That's why, you don't hear a lot of folks talking about it. But, we saw that this guy, they were accusing this guy that he was going to run people down. And, what happens? They pull this guy out of the truck. They're all standing in a circle around him. And, of course, Keese Love. I'm just going to go racial. The light-skinned brother. The other dark-skinned dudes, the Hispanic brothers and everything else, you don't hear, they're mad, but they're not as mad as Keese Love. Keese Love, like I say, he's a light-skinned brother. Light-skinned brothers always have to prove themselves much more than the dark-skinned brothers. This is something that's been well known. You look at people like, Huey Newton. He's a light-skinned brother, wasn't he? Brother had to prove himself, didn't he? Oh, yes. Brother had to prove himself. He had to keep that law book right on the seat, right on the passenger seat. He had to make sure his shit was tight. Make sure his shit was tighter than coochie. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. What is it? And of course, we saw that infamous, this dude's already just halfway there. Oh, fuck that. Fuck you, nigga. All this type of thing. What does he do? conks him in the head with his foot, kicks him, knocked out. And what do? They dump their dumbasses, tried, moving him around and shit. This dude's still in the coma, as far as we know. This dude's still in the coma. And of course, you don't see these types of things. So we see that these culture wars are continuing. This shit's been going on. I'm not going to tell you what side to take, although you can tell what bias I have. It makes me mad as hell. And I would tell you this, whether you want to take whatever example you want to take, but you know what? Unless you really feel that you know the situation, it doesn't pay to be a good Samaritan. All right? It doesn't pay. All right? It ain't worth it. At least in that white dude's case, it wasn't. This dude's living out of his car, this and that. They're robbing this dude. Or at least they're making sure he doesn't have a gun or something like that. And, what happens with that? What happens? We see all this type of shit going down. And it's nonsense. It's just, where do we go from here? This is why I talk about balkanization. This is why I talk about those things, because maybe it'll appear later on, because, whether it's Russia, whether it's Germany, whether it's Brazil, they've always managed to unite, even if it's, under some false narrative. They've been able to unite under some sort of idea or some sort of shared history, even with Vietnam, and all the troubles they've had. I don't know if that's a different situation, this and that, but it's like, what can the United States, what can we rally behind? Who are we going to rally behind? We're not going to rally behind, Thomas Jefferson. I've heard I heard from Caleb Maupin, I guess, is that maybe we can unite under Hamilton, Mr. Guy who wanted a national bank and all that sort of thing. I mean, I don't know. That's just, anyway. The thing is, man, it's like, there's a lot of shit going on. And it's nothing new. This summer has been wild. Whether it's Chaz, whether it's the riots that, the looting of Target, this and that, whether it's, the Oklahoma case, a lot of shit has happened. And a lot of us, we're going to forget. I know I'm going to. And because we have regular lives to lead. And we don't have, I don't, it's like, as mad as a lot of, people claim to be, is that eventually we all have to go to work. I have to go back to work eventually, and I'm going to have to play along. I'm going to have to learn to play that sort of game and everything else. And I'll probably get angry when I hear about this stuff again and maybe feel that tinge of hurt. But overall, it's like, we all have to move on. But I think a lot of these folks, but I would say, on the other side, on the flip side of it, there's a lot of folks who have made their careers off this sort of thing. People like Caleb, is it Jared Holt has made his career out of this. People like, that Becca Lewis. Like I say, don't go after these folks. Don't do anything to them. I'm just saying is that they've made careers out of this. They need this. They need the far right because this is what they research. So, like I said, that was a longer rant than I expected, but it's like, just like I said, for the whole Hinnant murder, that father has much more blood on his hands than that killer, I would say. And maybe that's me being, maybe I'm saying things wrong, but it's like we got to hold folks accountable, both sides of things. It's the same type of thing with that girl that was killed in I can't even think of it now. See, this happens so much. That girl that was killed by the migrant kid, and it turns out that she was like, yeah, screw white people and white supremacy, this and that. And what does that father say? That father says, well, we'll have more taco trucks, this and that, or whatever it was. And of course, a lot of these folks were research. We found the Republicans, they were getting a deal because they were getting all this, they were getting good prices on their labor, And it's, like I say, it's a difficult dialectic, isn't it? I've got, like I say, 20 something videos I'm going to be uploading. I'm just going to be real careful. Deciding which one, which ones are going to be best. I'm just going to go from there, but yeah, man, a lot of shit has happened. And I guess all I could say to y'all is just to keep your heads on straight, not to get involved. I'm just going to say, like I've always said, be careful of who you get involved with. Be careful of what you see in the media. Be careful. You can be angry and mad as hell, of course. I'm not going to tell you not to be, because you're going to feel as you're going to feel. But you got to be careful who you put your trust in. And I think with that, I think I've said my piece. Like I said, I'll probably upload. This is going to be, one of the other videos I'm going to upload. I'll probably upload these live streams first. I'll probably do that. I'll use these as test ones. And then maybe later on in the week, I'll upload some of the other response videos I've done. I recorded another one today. So I'm up to 24, 25 videos. I don't know how many. I recorded too damn many. But I'm going to go ahead and upload that. And that's all I can tell y'all, man, is to be careful. And with that, I think I've said my piece. Y'all have a good day, good night, whatever time y'all watching. God bless. And I think that's it. That's all I got to say, man. See you later. Goodbye.